Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night, but for now, let's get into the video.
You guys are going to tell me again that I'm feeding your delulu, but honestly, I do believe that when you think about someone too much, especially when it's all of a sudden you start, they are thinking about you. That is why this is happening. They are causing this. Someone is causing this, especially if it's like a karmic ex. I have it with one karmic ex that I think this is why he lives in your head rent free. And he probably thinks like spicy thoughts too. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it has to be because he does it. Sorry princess, but you are feeding into their delusion and you're not helping them either. If you do think that hard about someone, let them know. If it's mutual, then perfect. If not, cut your losses and move on. All of your poor excuses about your karmic ex is just an excuse to not let go. He did, but accepting that would hurt your feelings.
So apparently, if you're online dating, you have to swipe 300 people to narrow it down to get 10 matches, right? Then once you've got those 10 matches, then to have about 3 actual conversations, either via message, on the app, or even get to a phone call, that comes down to about 3 potentials to then go on one date. So swipe 300, match with 10, message 3, date 1. Those odds are not great. They're not really in anyone's favor. So anyone that's online dating, be there with intention so that everyone doesn't have to go from 300 to 10 to 3 to 1. They might go from 300 to 50 to 20 to 5 to 2. How do we make those odds better?
You don't. I don't even know where you got those numbers, but if you're talking about 300 swipes, yeah, you're not there with intention. Unless that is to sleep with how many people you want or can. Also, matching 10 times with 10 different people at the same time, that's also not being there with intentions either. Maybe go one at a time so you don't have that illusion that you have so many options.
Since when has it become so normalized to sleep with somebody and then ghost them? Genuine question. The amount of times my girlfriends will come to me, they'll be seeing a guy, going on dates, he's consistent, he's talking to them. As soon as they sleep together, that's it. End of conversation, ghosting, never speaks to them ever again. And yes, we understand that they've lost interest. However, why has it become so normalized to not communicate that and to not say, hey, I'm actually not feeling it anymore? Especially after they have been inside that person. Do I think that people are owed an explanation after dates? No kissing, no sleeping? No, not necessarily. But it's like when you move to that next stage, which is, in my opinion, very intimate, why has it become so normalized to just not communicate to that person how you feel? Actually quite disgusting when you think about it, because it's almost, I would say, a form of manipulation, that they pretend to be so invested and so interested in this person, and then the moment that they get what they want, they retract all communication and they give them no explanation. What do you think that does to a person? I just think it is so disrespectful, and you guys wonder why women don't want to sleep with you anymore.
So don't. Why are you talking to men when you should be talking to your friends? Why are you telling me that when you should tell that to your friends? Stop sleeping with men you should not be sleeping with. You're not owed an explanation if you're only dating, but you are owed an explanation if you slept with someone? Not really. In fact, you are owed nothing. If I give you one, it's a form of courtesy and respect, and sometimes I have none.
One of my favorite things to do on Hinge is when a guy asks for my phone number in the chat, I will send him my number if I'm into him, but I won't type it out for him because that's just too easy. I will send a voice note with my phone number so that they probably have to get a paper and a pen to write it down and probably listen to it a couple of times, unless they have a very good memory and they could just listen to it once and remember it, which, if that's the case, impressive. Just the thought that they might have to go get a paper and a pen old school days and write down a phone number just kind of cracks me up. I don't know, little things like that just bring me joy. Okay, bye.
Like I've said, sometimes I have none. And somehow I cannot not think about how sad and miserable your entire life is. If that is the thing that brings you joy, I really do feel sorry for you. And also I can use my voice to dictate a phone number and then save it. And then in some cases block it.
Serious question. Why is it that men can take apart the whole front end of their truck, well, in this case, my truck, and put it back together exactly how it's supposed to go, but lose all brain function when they see a woman with long hair and long legs. Can you explain that?
Okay, serious answer. It's all about the blood flow. Since men do have two heads, for the small head to function, it takes blood from the big head. And sometimes the small head has a mind of its own. When left alone, we can take apart your car and put it back together, but when you bring your tatas, I mean your long legs, it takes about 30 seconds for the big head to start losing blood.
Do you know what? I keep getting questions, which is the same question, right? Is why are you single? Brother, I don't know. Don't ask me this question as if I know. I'm assuming my mentality. I'm assuming it might be my head rather than my looks. I'm assuming. I don't know. Don't have an answer for you, apart from the fact that I'm slightly delusional and incredibly mentally ill. That's literally all I can say. You know, I'm just here to vibe, man. I don't know.
As it turns out, you do. You just answered that question.
So one of my favorite ways to assert my dominance on the road as a classic vehicle driver is when I see a man driving a classic, I like to roll down my window and I say, "Does your wife know that you stole her car for the day?" And then when he says something like, "What makes you think a woman owns this?" I say, "Well, I've only ever seen women drive them." And it's always a big hit.
I kept saying before, everyone needs a hobby, but I've never expected for some of these TikTokers to turn having no brain into a hobby.
You can't change a man's mind. Once his mind is made up and he fell out of love with you, or if he never loved you and just kept you around, that's what it's going to be for the rest of your relationship. Trust me, I know this because I am a professional webcam model. That means I know men's deepest, darkest secrets, and I get paid up to $20 a minute to hear men's deepest, darkest secrets. And a lot of men come into my chat and they tell me, I never even loved her. I just kept her around. I'm not in love with my wife. I just married her because I felt like I had to. So let me tell you right now, if he's not showing up for you, if he's not loving you, if he's not putting you on a pedestal, if he is not bending over backwards to make you feel loved, wanted, and special at all times, he's most likely just settled for you, and that's not your fault. That has nothing to do with you, but you're not going to change his mind. So if you're not feeling the way you want to feel in your relationship, it's totally up to you to walk away and change that, because the man is going to stay as long as you let him stay. Trust me when I say it.
A professional webcam model? Okay, this is who you ladies are listening to? This is who you ladies take relationship advice from? I mean, okay, what could possibly go wrong?
I really can't imagine dating a man who has been divorced, and I hope I'm not speaking this into existence. But what do you mean you got down on your knee for another woman, begged her to marry you, cried at the altar for her, made vows to her?
Yeah, okay. Oh no, she's not gonna date guys that are divorced. Everyone having no idea you exist are gonna feel devastated right about now. Alright, this is gonna be it for today. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still appreciate you for making it this far. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.